Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's a Monday afternoon. The Iceman here, and we have Monday Night Raw tonight, the Fallout show for WWE Battleground from last night. And I want to talk a little bit about the WWE, and this really pertains with all the other wrestling promotions as well. Um, we watch a pay-per-view. We read what the big wrestling sites, how they rate the show, and if they rate the show with a very low rating, we seem to like jump on that bandwagon and sort of like follow suit because we feel, well, these guys are involved in wrestling, and they got to be right. Well, for me, I have been critiquing professional wrestling for a long time, um, and sometimes I go into watching a show where I look at the card ahead of time, and a lot of times you convince yourself that because this card isn't all that strong, that the show isn't going to be good. And when it's all said and done, you actually honestly believe it wasn't that good. So, what I try to do now when I go into a wrestling show, I don't go in there to watch it as a critic. I go in there and watch it as a wrestling fan. Um, and I go in there to watch it, to enjoy it. And I have found myself finding a lot of these pay per views that a lot of people are saying that are no good. I find them to be very entertaining and very satisfying for myself. I really do believe that a lot of these wrestling news sources, um, in the last couple years, they really don't really like too much of anything. Whether it be TNA, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, WWE, most of them just they don't really have a lot good to say about the promotions. And yeah, well, wrestling times have changed, and we have to go with the times. We have to evolve with the way things have changed, and it's not like it was. It's never going to be like it was. So I have a mindset now, like last night's pay-per-view battleground. I saw the card, and I was really interested in the Cena Owens match and the Rollins Lesnar match, and a little bit interested in Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. And but as I watched this show, going into it with an open mind, I sat back and I watched it, and I was entertained. I really was, because I made no expectations on this show. I judged it once it was over. I didn't judge it as it was going along, and I find myself, liking the show much more than maybe I would have if I went in there being, skeptical because, the card didn't look all that strong. So, like I said, I have a new mindset going in watching these pay-per-views, and I've watched a lot of videos last night, and I watched a lot of videos today. A lot of people destroyed the pay-per-view. Uh, I think more so destroyed the pay-per-view than the people that actually liked it. I was probably in the minority of liking the pay-per-view, but again, it all depends on who you're a fan of. Of the stars on the pay-per-view card. Anyhow, I am a fan of John Cena. I make no bones about it. But I went in here uh, with the mindset. I really honestly predicted that John Cena would not lose at Battleground, being the pay per view before SummerSlam. But I went in thinking, well, it's Owens and Cena. Really, both guys are great. So no matter who wins, it's okay. It's really okay. And I'd have no problem with if Kevin Owens won this match. And this is how I, got to really enjoy the pay per view. Um, I didn't think Seth Rollins was going to lose his belt. Uh, Going in, watching the match, I did not expect to see what I saw. A lot of people were popping for the fact that Undertaker came out. And then, then you got those that instead of being happy that The Undertaker came out, they were ticked off for the simple fact that it was a short match. Um, Rollins got screwed over because he almost was going to win the match. But how many times have we seen this happen on many, many occasions in title matches? So, yeah, maybe the main event wasn't all that great, but by The Undertaker coming out, it gave it that added flavor. So, like I said, I didn't expect that to happen. And when it was all said and done, sitting back, watching just as a fan, and not as someone who was going to criticize the pay-per-view or critique it, I enjoyed it a heck of a lot more. And like I said, I'm going to try to do that more often. It's hard not to read things that are posted all over the internet, even when you try to avoid them somehow, some way. Things just come across the screen and to your eyes, and a lot of times spoilers have a way of doing that as well. And I sort of get upset, and there's been times I said to myself, I'm staying away from certain websites because they always give it away. It's like last week with TNA. It said that the women's title changed hands. It didn't say by who. And right away I knew, before they never used to do that, but they seem to do that more often now. But anyway, as far as the pay-per-view goes last night, I just sit back again and just watch it as a fan. And, the bottom line is it's not life or death. You know, it's just entertainment. And we need to realize that. We need to focus on the fact that this is just entertainment. And we really shouldn't get upset over things like entertainment. I mean, it's not reality. So, with all that being said, I just wanted to put that out there. I enjoyed Battleground last night, and I'm not going to change my opinion on it. I thought every match was halfway decent, and it it didn't disappoint me. Whether it did others, well, that's your opinion, and that's what it's all about here on YouTube, is giving your opinion. So, anyway, Monday Night Raw tonight. We'll see what the Fallout show has to offer. We'll see probably more about Lesnar and The Undertaker, and what will Paul Heyman have to say after Lesnar got owned by The Undertaker. Interested to see what happens. Peace out, everybody. Have yourself a great Monday night.